All right. How we doing? How are we sounding? Let me just make sure on my end that I can hear. Let's see. He'll probably play pretty soon. All right. Sounds good to me. All right, let's do this. All right. So I imagine some people will be watching this later. It's late. I mean, late-ish. It's like 9 p.m. So probably like a lot of people are like just preparing to conquer the next day. But if anyone happens to join live, we obviously will welcome them. And also, my apologies. My voice is raspy. I'm just recovering from probably the flu. So, just appreciate everyone's prayers and stuff like that. But yeah, we are going to be recapping rounds 1 and 2 of my match versus Eric Ney. So just a little bit of background. I assume most people who watch this probably will know the context, but in our local chess sort of circles community, we have sort of like what we call DGT matches. I say we call them that. They literally are DGT matches, to where you play someone 4 raid games, someone closest to your rating. The rating requirement's within 400 points, but but oftentimes they're pretty close. So I'm playing a match against Eric Ney, who's like 15-18, I think. I'm 17-47, so there's a little bit of a difference, but it is well within the 400 points. He challenged me, and I decided to accept. So we're playing 2 games today. We played 2 games earlier today, or tonight, and then we're going to play 2 more on Thursday. So this is going to be the recap. This is going to be like all like kind of live and I guess spontaneous, because I have to put the moves in manually because that's just how the cookie crumbles. Like on the DGT link, you can't copy paste a PGN from the DGT link. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. You can't quite copy and paste a DGT, like the PGN from the DGT link, which kind of sucks. I think they should implement that, but they're not going to. I would say they're not going to. They haven't. So let me actually play around with this a little bit. I mean, no one's here yet, so no live viewers. If you're like watching this through, you can just probably skip until I start talking about the game. Let me see. Hopefully it sounds good. That's all I gotta say. It'll be a little farther away. All right. Yeah. See, I like it when it's close and people see it, but it also kind of gets in the way. So, let's see how it sounds far away. Actually, I do want to check. Hopefully it sounds good. That's all I gotta say. Be a little farther away. All right. Okay, I think it sounds fine. I like it when it's close and people see it. Also, I realized I was like muted when I unplugged, but that doesn't matter. I wasn't saying anything profound. All right. Also gotta check. Might as well charge my computer. I mean, it's basically at 100, but when I'm streaming and stuff, like, you just never know. I feel like it drains fast. So my apologies if anyone is just watching this back. We're just getting some setup done. I think it'd be good to have this live reaction. I think the chess community appreciates it. I'm trying to fit this through. Y'all have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just... All right. With that said, let's get going. So, as I mentioned earlier, we played 2 games tonight. We played 2 games tonight. We're gonna play 2 more games on Thursday. I white in the first game. Now, I was considering some things. Alakine, yes sir, yeah, I definitely thought about you when I played the Alakines. We will, yeah, no, definitely, I'd say it was a success. I'm glad I played it for sure. Honestly, what I will say though, since you're here, like, Alakines was a very last-minute decision. I was initially, I was gonna play something else, then I was gonna play something else, which I'm not revealing because we still have more games to go. not trying to sound like some super secretive, like, GM, but, like, but then I was like, let's just play Alakines. Like, I think it'll be fun. I've played it a few times, like, online and stuff like that. But I know that you're here for the Alakine hype probably, but we gotta go over the boring first game first. So Knight F3, as I mentioned earlier on the live stream, I was putting the moves in manually since I don't have, like, the DGT can't do the PGN. So Knight F3, does this look good? I think it looks good to everyone. It can transpose into a lot as well. Yeah, that's true. A lot of very interesting ideas. I do think it's pretty underrated. Underrated weapon. So, Knight F3. My opponent played Knight F6. G3. D5. Let me turn lines off for myself just so I don't see them. I'm not, like, disturbed by them. It was Bishop G2. C5. Castles. Knight C6. I actually do want the Explorer up because I do play Knight F3. Whoops. Nice. Jonas, if you're watching this, he says, I would say congratulations, but I wasn't expecting anything different. And then good something, my brother. Oh, I appreciate that. That's sweet. Yeah, because I think, I do appreciate those, compliments. But what I was gonna say is, I've played Knight F3 before. Like, I've played it several times, like, recently. Normally, what I do, well, my repertoire here has been to play, like, C4 and B4. Like, C4, if they play G6, I'll go, like, here. And this isn't exactly a secret. Like, I've played it before. I think I've played it on DGT before. It's pretty interesting because you get, like, this queenside sort of expansion. You can put the bishop on B2 to sort of complement the bishop on G7. Well, not complement, but sort of oppose. Actually, let me text Jonas back. I feel like I gotta do that. Alright. I mean, he might be watching. I'm not exactly sure. So normally, like, against Knight F6, I would play, like, C4, or maybe just play, like, D4. I decided to just kind of go full on into a King's Indian attack. And I was kind of preparing a few things, beforehand. Knight C6, D3. I was preparing a few things beforehand, like, what if he goes, like, this way? What if he goes, this way? But what I didn't really look into, and it's the most logical by far, is E5. Just gaining control of the center. Now, it's not scary by any means that I allow it. Like, this is, like, mainline stuff, but it is something I probably should have looked at beforehand. So my opponent played E5. I played Knight B to D2, which is the theoretical move. I'm actually glad to see that, because I was actually wondering, as soon as I put my knight on D2, I was kind of wondering, like, if that was correct, or maybe I should have played, like, I don't know, C4, and if I played D4, just put the other knight on D2, but, because I thought maybe in some situations, the knights could step on each other's toes, but no, this seems fine. Let me just reposition something real quick. It means a lot. I don't know. But we're just recapping a match that I just played earlier tonight. Many people probably know the result. I'm not necessarily going to spoil it. So I played Knight B D2. He played Bishop E7. And here, so I didn't play the theoretical move. I played a move that's not the theoretical move. which is c3. I played c3 in this position. Now, the theory says e4. Just go e4 straight up. So I played c3. I'll just put that on the board. The theory says e4 straight up. Also, how do I sound? Do I sound good, guys? Let me just check. c3. Yeah, I sound fine. I mean, my voice is kind of sore. As y'all can tell, I had like the flu or something like that. But as far as like mic and everything goes, I think we're fine. So I thought about going here. I didn't really see anything concretely wrong. I thought like e4. Honestly, I thought he might just take, and I wasn't sure. Like, you know, just see. I guess I can go rook e1, then like knight c4. But I was like, I don't know. He has one attacker. I have one attacker. I want to play knight c4 at some point, but this is kind of stuff I'll have to look into later on my own. And then c3. Okay, that makes sense. So he's going to go e4 first and kind of delay c3. That's fine. So I played c3. He castled. I played queen c2. Which again, not computer necessarily, but the theory is just saying I should play e4 straight away. It might transpose. Not really. I mean, there's still a few games here. After e4, he played d4, and I think we're out of book here. After d4, I took this opportunity to play knight c4, attacking this pawn. He played queen c7, and then here, so I see he wants to play b5, so I played a4, just sort of stopping it. So I think this position's okay. Like, maybe allowing this like whole pawn thrust is not necessarily the most ideal. What kind of becomes a problem later is that this bishop just kind of sucked the whole game. So maybe there could have been ways I could have improved. Like, I wonder if I could have been more ambitious with something like here and then like f4 just a little bit earlier or something like that. I'm just thinking generally. I'm not exactly sure. So a4, he played bishop e6. Okay, so yeah, this kind of, threw me a little bit for a loop because, I play a4, he plays bishop e6, and then I realized maybe he just wants to take the knight and then damage my pawn structure. And I kind of thought about more, and I'm like, yeah, if I just do nothing, if I just play like h3 or something, this is not like, I don't really like this necessarily. I mean, computer says it's okay, but I didn't really want to just straight up allow bishop takes c4. So here I played actually something that's a little bit tricky and does give him opportunities to mess up. I took the pawn, which I guess computer's saying is one of the better moves. Let me just see what the engine says. I'm actually curious. Yeah, the best move by a margin is c takes d4. So I'm glad I found that. The concrete idea, or one of the concrete ideas, is after c takes, well, he has 1, 2, 3 ways to recapture. Or he could take. But I think if he took, I was just going to play like queen takes. I'm doing fine. He gives up his bishop. I was going to be totally fine with that. If he takes with the c pawn, I snap the pawn on e5. So if he takes, I just win a pawn because of this pin. Because of the pin on the queen. The queen alignment on the c file gets tricky. Yeah, exactly. So taking with the c pawn is out of range. If he takes with the e pawn, then I have like bishop f4 ideas. It just looks very uncomfortable. I think I just play bishop f4 straight away, and then, he just like has to move his queen or something, and then I just play this position. I'm not really worried anymore about bishop takes because of queen takes. That was the other idea behind c takes, was that I open up my queen to recapture the knight. And you might think, like, the queen would be exposed on c4, but I don't really there aren't really any attackers that would be able to attack the queen. The main one would be the bishop, but he would just trade it off. So after c takes, he played the correct move, which was knight takes d4. And, I'm pretty sure I have to take. Queen d1 just looks sad, and I think if I play queen d1, he would just go like knight takes, and then like take. Apparently this is okay for me, but I wasn't really sure about that. I wasn't sure about going into that. I just took, and then he played C takes. So now obviously there's no longer any like knight takes c5 because now it's my queen that's pinned. So you will notice this as sort of a theme throughout the game that this pin along the c file is very tricky. I can't just move my knight. I guess I can. I could go to like knight e3, but like that's always going to be pathetic. But under normal circumstances, I can't move my knight. And a lot of times if I move my queen away, then maybe there's like bishop takes. So, anyway, I'm going to go forward a little bit. So I was like looking at this position. I'm like, I'm not sure what to do. I feel like I need to make something happen. Maybe looking at this with a little bit fresher eyes, like, I think the thing is, he kind of has ideas to go like rook c8 and just pressure my knight, and there's not a lot I can do about it. So I was kind of like, I need to act fast. But I do want to see if this was the best move. It was not the best move, but it's up there. I mean, it's alright. Top computer move is bishop d2 and then b3, which are like safer moves. They're safer, they're more patient. Probably what I could have done, or should have done. Here, I played f4. And honestly, I liked f4 at the time. I knew that was probably not the best move. And there are many positions where you get punished by playing f4. Like, you know, I thought maybe he'd try to go like knight g4, knight e3 in some positions or something like that. But I was like, it does have a concrete idea to just take the pawn. And if he takes, I take back with my bishop. So there's some concrecity? I don't even think you can make that a ITY. What do you call that? I don't know. You know, I mean, you know what I mean. But there's a concreteness to f4. It's not just like some like pawn push, like in a Vienna game or something like that. Like it's a concrete move. You know, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm just trying to open up the position a little bit. He plays what I think was the most tenacious defense. I'm not sure what the computer would say. Knight d7. Yeah, the eval doesn't budge, so knight d7 is clearly pretty good. So now if I take, he would take with his knight. And I think there's some line, like, if I go bishop f4, he just goes bishop f6. I'm just kind of out of, like, resources. f4 looks great. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was pretty good. I did want to actually point out some other variations. I thought he might try something like, I want to say knight g4. I think knight g4, I was going to go h3, and if he went knight e3, oh, knight e3, I just lose the knight. Maybe I thought about, like, I mean, it's very, I wouldn't put it past myself. I might have just missed knight e3 that just loses the knight. I was looking at something like this. Knight e3, bishop takes, pawn takes. It's human playable? Yeah, very. I was thinking here something like, you know, queen e2, and I thought he might play like bishop c5. Is this winning for black? How's this winning? Bishop takes, pawn takes. Maybe, wait, what's the move? I'm not sure, actually. Oh, it's takes? And then takes? And then here. You can't take the pawn because of here, and then otherwise you're just getting in. Ah, okay. So I guess it's important, like, what if I do... I guess it's the same stuff, right? It's not very fun. I'm trying to remember what I thought about in the game. Maybe I thought about, like, bishop takes first. I probably would have played... Funny thing is, you know what? I do remember this. I remember thinking about this. I don't have to recapture right away. I think I was going to take here first. Snag e3 instead of queen e2. Oh, queen e2 where? There's like knight g4, h3 here, takes. I guess there's that. I'm trying to remember. Takes. Yeah, there's probably that. My memory's a little fuzzy. I'm not exactly sure. My calculation might have just been bad, honestly. I'm not exactly sure. But I was going to say, if he took, the funny thing is I don't have to recapture because of this pin. I think I was going to take, if I'm not mistaken. I think I was going to take, and then if he played queen takes, I would just go, like, here. And then if, like, rook c8, I was going to go queen b3. And then just kind of, like, chill. I have, like, rook f5 coming, potentially. I'll just develop my bishop or something, and then I think I'm doing pretty good, right? So, I was pretty content with something like that. You know, I thought at the back of my head maybe there's like some knight g4, but I didn't think it worked. Honestly, I think I just missed knight g4, knight e3, that knight e3 just loses. Maybe I was thinking like here, but I think I just take the knight and there's this pin. So, no, there's no way I thought about it. Anyway, we'll go to the game variation. Knight d7. And then here, I was like, well, so knight d7, there's really no point in me taking now, because he has, like, knight takes. I think, again, we have the same problems, like, f takes, knight takes. Obviously, I can't take. And after bishop f4, there's, like, you know, there's something like this. And, like, he just gets this, like, my knight's pinned. I guess it's a situation where both of us have knights that are pinned. So, you never know what could happen. I just don't think it's necessary to alleviate the tension. You might be thinking, but doesn't f4 just trap the bishop? Well, he can just take. So, I could play f5. Sorry, I meant f5. I could play f5, forcing this. I'm not really enthused about that. Because after f5, bishop takes. Either way, he's going to have a protected passed pawn on d4. And I just wasn't about that. Which kind of explains my next move, like here in a second. Like queen takes, it's probably the worst variation, right? Because, like, you know, my pawn is weak, and obviously he has this going. If pawn takes, I mean, I can play this, I guess. Oh, I don't even capture the bishop. Remember, it's pinned. I think the move's here at b3. Yeah, that would just take. Okay, I guess that's somewhat reasonable, but here I played b3. With all that in mind, I was like, I don't want to have to give him the opportunity to have a protected passed pawn. If he ever captures, I'm just going to play b takes. Yes, this pawn might look weak, but it's not really. It's hackable, and I can always just ram it up sometimes. I wasn't really concerned about that. And I don't think Eric wanted to just part ways with his bishop unnecessarily, which is fair enough. So, this is where you start thinking about... Also, time is a critical factor here. Unfortunately, I can't really, like, you know, like, add the timestamps. I mean, like, there probably is a way, but it's from the DGT link, which is tricky. Okay, I have 23 minutes, he had 30. So not a huge time deficit, but obviously time becomes, like, a factor a little bit later. I have to start calculating knight c5. Preemptively preempt the preemptive move. Yeah, right. I'd start considering knight c5, because knight c5, like, would potentially exploit... Like, I have these two pawns. Like, knight c5 in some positions would threaten, like, just stuff like... Actually, I guess here knight c5 doesn't really threaten anything. It's like the type of thing, though, if I were to move my queen, which is something I want to accomplish, then knight c5 becomes strong, because he's attacking like this. And if I play, like, b4, he would have, like, knight takes d3, and then this. So after b3, he played f6. Again, yeah, he's just being very solid, very tenacious. Like, it's kind of hard to break through, and it's like, I don't really want to take... If I play f5 now, he can just drop back. And there are some positions, maybe a little later, I thought about going, like, f5, and I think my queen was here. Maybe I thought about this and getting some attack, but... just all seemed very hollow. So f6 is on the board. Here I decided finally after 16 moves to connect my rooks. So I played bishop d2. I thought about going here, but I thought my bishop would be more valuable on this diagonal than on this diagonal. So I decided to play here. It's a little bit on the conservative side. What was your long-term plan for that dark square bishop? No, that's a really good question. I don't really have a long-term plan. Honestly, it's just kind of chilling. And that's going to be something, like, as I like, look more to this opening, is something I'll have to, like, sort of figure out. It's like, what to do with this guy. Maybe there's some positions where you go, like, b3. But when he puts the pawn on d4, it obviously eliminates this square. When the pawn's on e5, it eliminates this square. And the bishop's just kind of goofy on g5. That answers it. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I don't really have, like... Maybe I could have, like, traded it off with bishop a3. Bishop takes, I'd have to play rook takes. Well, maybe I could play knight takes, get away with the queen trade, but... How often does Weka host tournaments? That's a really good question. So like the church tournaments, like the big open ones, they used to be once a month. I think, unfortunately, they're coming back to, like, once every other month. So there's one coming up on Saturday. And then, yeah, I think the next one's in April. There are also, like, kind of invitational house tournaments. It's, like, in theory, they're open to, like, anyone, you know. It's kind of, like, it's not completely closed, but, it is pretty often. So, like, with those house tournaments, there's probably, like, one bigger tournament every month. And there are smaller quads. And then there are, like, matches. So there is a lot of chess that goes on. So, after, f6, bishop d2, oh yeah, bishop d2. Okay, we're talking about this dark square bishop. Yeah, like, I you know, you could maybe notice, like, bishop a5's, like, a move, but I think it always just gets kicked with b6. But something at the back of your mind. Oh yeah, I was thinking about, what if I just play bishop a3? It's okay, I guess. I mean, computer doesn't like it. I wonder if it's something concrete. Bishop takes, rook takes. Just bring Jason alcohol and he'll invite you. Facts. Yeah, I mean, computer doesn't like this. I would have thought I could just, like, kind of, like, rewrap and just be fine. Honestly, from my human eyes, this looks okay. I guess a6, b5 is a big concern. If I go here, sorry, not here. If I go here, rook e to c8. Okay, I mean, computer's just saying that, like, black's just pressing. That's understandable. Say that bishop d2's on the board. Here my opponent plays rook a to c8, putting more pressure. Well, it's not even about the knight, it's about the pin. So it's kind of anticipating, just sort of fizzles. Yeah, I do think, though, like, my position's worse, so I think I do want to, like, make trades and stuff like that. But for some reason, my position's just bad after bishop a3, after that whole trade. I'm not exactly sure. So, the thing is, I think he knows that I'm going to play rook c1, or one of the rooks to c1, which is actually another discussion. Which rook do you put? It would make it a pin anyway, because if I play rook c1, my knight's still in a way pinned, because if I just move it, well, I guess in fairness, the knight doesn't have very many squares. I guess a3 is kind of available, but seems like, I mean, do they just have bishop takes? I guess I would play queen takes. Yeah, I guess it's not really pinned, but it is putting pressure on the c-file for sure. And here, so this is like an interesting decision. Like, which rook do I put on c1? It's always a really good question, like when you have, like, rooks sort of lined up, like they're connected, and you're thinking about, like, I know, excuse me, I know one rook's gonna go to one square, I just don't know which one. You have to think about the other rook, what's it doing? I thought the most natural was this rook, because I thought maybe this rook could be, like, kept on the f-file. I decided to go with the other rook. I played rook f to c1. The reason I played rook f to c1 is because I didn't really think there was anything going on the king side. And I thought that maybe this rook could, in the future, like, if things fizzle out a little bit, sort of support, like, an a-pawn push. I think black sneaks a rook into the second rank. Probably. Like, yeah. Say something like rook c1. Say just play, like, a random move. You know, knight a3. Takes. I guess here they have knight c5. Yeah, maybe we're talking about, like, this. I don't know. But yeah, I see. It's probably not very good. So after rook f c1, my opponent played a6 with the idea to go b5. And, okay, this is good. I like that this is the best move, because he now has this structure. The structure with a6, b5. a5 is a very thematic way to sort of, like, undermine this, because It's like you're freezing 2 pawns with the power of 1. I don't know, like, what they, like, say Avengers equivalent or superhero something like that would be. If I were well-versed, I'd be using those analogies left and right, but you have 1, and it's freezing 2. And the reason it's freezing the B pawn, obviously, is because if you go B5, there's en passant. Even if you don't lose the pawn, it can leave, like, this pawn weak. So, apparently, I'm just trying to think from my opponent's perspective. Yeah, I think here knight c5 was the better move. I was trying to remember. I'm trying to remember what I was thinking after knight c5. Oh yeah, you know what? That's another reason why I played. Well, I guess it wouldn't be necessarily. But knight c5. I think I was just gonna go. Oh gosh, what was I gonna do? I was gonna play bishop f1. I do remember that. Yeah, knight c5 I was gonna go bishop. My initial idea, I wanted to make like b4 work, but it doesn't because of this. Very positional battle, yeah, very much so. And obviously, like, this is, like, coming under fire, right? I think after knight c5, I was prepared to just suck it up and play bishop f1. Which I think, in fact, proves itself, because after, a5... Oh, did I skip a move? I skipped a move, didn't I? Wait, hold on. Sorry. No, I skipped a move. That's fine. So after a6... I didn't immediately go a5. Huh. See, I don't have some, like, Grandmaster memory. Any Grandmaster who plays would just, like, put the moves and, like, oh, yeah, I was supposed to do this. But, I forgot that I didn't immediately play a5. I wonder why not. Maybe it was because I was concerned about knight c5. I played this first. Walking out of the pin. And then after queen b8, I did play a5. Here knight c5 was better. I think after knight c5, I was just going to go bishop f1. Sorry, knight c5, I was going to go here. And then he just goes b5. Wow, okay. Takes, and then I have to, like, go, like, bishop a5 or knight a5. Okay, yeah. Oh, this is attack. Ah, okay. So knight a5, I guess knight a5 does hold it together, but it's pretty, like, it's pretty flimsy. Chess is not fair for us Americans. Yeah, right. Yeah, us Americans have to, like, go, like, right? So we just have to, like, look at our stuff. Are the house tournaments rated? Yeah, they're rated. Mostly dual rated, so, like, game 45. But there are a few blitz tournaments. So, queen b8... and then I played a5. So same idea. Like, I'm just locking up this structure with my pawn. I think it's for that reason that the computer probably says that I'm better. Or, like, slightly better. I mean, it's obviously very marginal. And here he played rook c6. I think he was trying to put more pressure. It's also harder to justify knight c5 because I could then play knight b6. There's some concrete lines, like, if he does that and he just, like, takes immediately, like, I'm not exactly sure. Also, time starts to become important. I have 6 minutes here, and he has, like, 16, so it's clearly a very tense position, and I only have 6.5 minutes to work with. There is a 5-second delay, though. There's a 5-second delay, so I don't necessarily have to, like, flag or anything like that. And here I play bishop f1, which was kind of prophylactic against, like, knight c5. Computer says it's not best. I'm not trying to, like, keep looking at the computer. I am curious, though, what the suggestions are. Wow, b4 is a move. Does Logan just beat everyone? Yeah, if he wants to. I think I thought b4. I thought he would take, probably. I think I was concerned about just him allowing this. This is good enough, though. Like, I guess he does have the pawn, but, like, I have, like, this coming, I guess. Oh, it says, like, after king h8, my move is c5. Wow. Okay, I just, like, shut out this bishop and just humiliate him. I wonder if I'm, like, I just wonder what my plan is. Like, I go, like, here, maybe, and just, like, dominate. Very fascinating. Okay, so I play bishop f1, And then he played rook e to c8, kind of like piling up pressure. And then this is where I basically tanked half my time. We need to get him and that FM to do a DGT game. I wonder who that FM is. But I agree, Logan versus NFM would be a thrilling match. I'm just curious who the FM is. But, yeah, after rook e to c8, yeah, I kind of tanked here. I think, like, my position's not bad. It's just I have no time. So, this is where, like, things start to get crazy. So I decide, like, I have no time. I just need to, like, make things concrete. So I took, which I know it's not the best, but I took. He took. Now, my initial idea was, queen h5. Not because I'm going for some abstract checkmate that's not there, going rogue or anything like that. I was going to go queen h5 with the idea to either trade bishops this way or trade bishops this way. That was really my whole idea. And, maybe provoke. Like, if he plays g6, I could play here, and, like, you just never know. Oh. He's played with y'all before? Oh, okay. FM? Oh, FIDE Master who played with us? Okay, I'm trying to remember who that is. Like, I believe you. FIDE Master? Oh, is it Vasigaran? Nankumar? Are you talking about him? Is it Vasi? I know who Vasi is. Yeah, that would be a good match. I agree. I don't know who would win, but I guess Vasi probably would. He's an FM improving. Yeah, I played Vasi when he was like 2,000, which is kind of funny. He's probably like, what, 2,400 now? 23, 24? Yeah, so that was my initial idea. Y'all know, like, how it sometimes happens, like, you have a plan or an idea, then your opponent, like, is thinking, and then you kind of have second thoughts. So I started to have second thoughts. After F takes, I was like, maybe queen h5 is, like, not... I mean, it's alright. Maybe I don't need to do that. Maybe I can just try to trade one set of bishops and go here. So I play bishop e2 to go to g4. Which, yeah, computer saying is not bad. Pitch in some money. Yeah, I'm down. Then we'll have a whole commentary. Okay, computer, I'm just looking at the computer line. It says either b4 or queen h5 is up there. Okay, so my intuition was correct. Queen h5 is one of the better moves. But bishop e2 is not bad either. It's probably up there. So I played bishop e2. He played b... Okay, so here, I think he has made a mistake. Oh, excuse me. That's a mistake. He played b5. Okay, it's not as big a mistake that I thought. But after b5, what's the reason I have my pawn a5? I en passant. And I think maybe... I was trying to remember. I think he just, like... I think, he, like, tried, like, settled on this. Well, I know he did. I think... He might miss, like, knight takes that I can take. I saw, like, if he does here, I go here. If he does this, I go here. And then I would just be up a knight. Or up a rook. Up a rook? I guess up an exchange. So, I think the reason it's a mistake is because it forces him now to sort of part ways with his bishop. Then after b takes c4, he plays rook takes b6. Now, again, context is kind of key here. In this position, I have a minute 58 left. He has 9:32. So we're kind of in this territory where I have, like, little to no time. I'm doing fine on the board, but I just have no time. So I need to sort of, like, come up with what to do. Now, I'm curious if this is the best move. Yeah, I played a move here. It actually is the best move, which I'm pretty proud of, actually. It does turn out to be the best move, but even aside from being the best move, it makes things very tricky for him. So the move in this position, if you want to, like, take a second, maybe pause, sort of, like... Honestly, I'm just giving my voice a break, because my voice is obviously sore, so... You want to pause the video, find the best move for white. It's pretty intuitive if you just look at, like, just, like, possibilities, but I'll let you sort of, like, think about it. I'll give you a hint. Just look for attacks. I'm gonna check Facebook. I mean, maybe no one will come up with a move, which is fine. I'm just trying to see what's going on. Just check the Facebook updates. Facebook was like, I was looking at my live stream thing. It was like, why not post it as an event? Like, I'm not sure. The move here is Go Bishop G4. Go Bishop G4 because now you have this pin. And it's really tricky to sort of like navigate. Like during the game, I'm thinking about like situations where he goes, yeah, it's Bishop G4. Yeah, no, you're right. I was thinking about situations where he goes like Rook B7, and I go here, and then he trades, and it's like, oh no, the queen and the knight are attacked at the same time. Which again, he can like kind of hold, maybe, but you know, Queen D6 there's here, which is a theme that kind of comes up. So like, yeah, Bishop G4 is the best move. I'm curious. I'll put the engine lines on for myself. I'm curious how tenaciously he defended. He played Queen D6, which is a good move. Rook A5. Rook A5 would have been baller. I didn't do that. I played Rook A B1. He played Rook takes B1. I took... Yeah, I'm not playing the best moves necessarily, but I am in time pressure. He plays Queen C6. There's still this pin. Oh yeah, this move, this kind of reminds me. I was thinking here, like, do I have C5 here? But I think after C5... See, I thought about C5 because, like, if knight takes, the rook hangs, and otherwise this would be a fork. I thought he just had, like, this. Which I guess he does. Yeah, rook takes C5, and apparently I just go Queen A4, attacking the knight. And then, you know, the knight moves, and then I can, like, take, and then go, like, here. And then there's, like, an attack. Queen A4 on your mind. No, not at all, honestly. Well, A, not the meme, and B, like, it didn't even occur to me, this whole Queen A4 move. So, that's funny, though. Yeah, so, well, I was considering C5, I just didn't really see what happens after rook takes, but, yeah, Queen A4, that could have been the star move. So, yeah, C4 here, Queen A4, yeah, Queen A4. Screenshot it and show it to Jason. I'm sure he'll really appreciate it. But I played Rook B1. You're answering as I ask, and it's great. Yeah, that's great. Rook A to B1. Rook takes. Queen C6. Apparently here C5 is like really good. Like I mean, like what's the idea behind C5? I guess the knight's pinned. If queen takes, there's like this. Yeah. That's another thing. Like in this position, when I was thinking on his time, I realized that Bishop B4 is a threat. So there's not only this pin, which he still hasn't resolved, there's also this threat, which I thought Queen C6 was pretty tenacious. I was trying to think about what to do here. I played Queen B3. Oh, he just played Rook B8. Oh, Rook B8's like, yeah, I shouldn't have allowed that. He played Knight C5, which I did see coming. I played Queen B6. He took. I took. At this point, I have like 23 seconds left, so I have like no time. I'm trying to think what I could have done earlier, because this is apparently a draw, but apparently I was winning, or like, you know, doing good if I play, well, C5 we already kind of went over, yeah. Yeah, C5 is apparently just like the star move. I wonder what the underlying idea behind C5 though is, besides just like, that can't be taken. I guess like, this is like Queen B3, then I can like get in with like Queen F7. It's like C5, say he plays like, I don't even know what he does, that's the other thing. Say he plays like Rook B8. Rook B8 I would take. And then I have, oh, well this just wins, okay, yeah. think that the problem with c5 is that he doesn't really have a good move. If he goes queen c7, say, I go check, and then I go, like, here as infiltrate. And there's still this pin. Let's say he tries to resolve the pin in that position. Let's say after c5 he just goes, like, rook d8? So I think rook c7, I assume there's, like, a rook... Well, no, there wouldn't be. So let's say rook c7. I have check, and boom. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. There's just some infiltration. Probably bishop e6. Yeah, it's just, like... Yeah, freeing up the diagonal. Yeah. Yeah, c5 would have been baller. It didn't even occur to me. It doesn't occur to you to play c5 when there are 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to capture. And it's, like, not even protected. Look, it's protected 0 times and attacked 4. That's actually insane. Now, I know, like, 2 of the ways, like, you know, this hangs a rook, you know, this hangs a knight, but still, it's actually absolutely insane that it can't be taken. Okay, so after c5, not c5, and I didn't play that, your pawns are locked. Yeah, exactly. So I played queen b3, he played this, and then here he forgot that his rook was hanging, just played the fateful knight takes d3, and I just took the rook. And game's essentially over. It's just not because of time pressure. I'll show a few more moves. Knight c5. I played this. He took. I played bishop b4. Then he tried to get cute with d3, just trying to, like, you know, oh, if takes, he's gonna push the pawn, which is what I did. Yeah. After takes, d2, I just went. Oh, rook b1's even cleaner, but I went check, and then I went here. And then he took. I think I played like this. I'm just holding. I'm just like. I just don't want to. I just can't, like. I just gotta keep my eye on the ball. Just make sure he doesn't queen. I just bring my king in, and then it's just like, yeah. A little inconvenient how I can't really get my bishop anywhere, but it's whatever. I ended up winning this. So. Alright. I'm gonna take a real quick bathroom break. Real quick bathroom break, and then we'll go over the Alekhine game. Alright. I'll be right back. Alright, welcome back, Alright, so, I mean, we can go over, I mean, you know, just, like, maybe if there are any key takeaways. I'm not exactly sure, because this is my first time going through it as well. So, yeah. Oh, you don't even see. Yeah, pretty good game overall. Definitely very tense. And as I suspected, black was better for most of it, but we got the job done. Let me just go ahead and save this. I saw the game. Yeah. Oh, this is the wrong scene. My bad. Yeah. No, we just went over it. So, we'll go over the second game here in a second. I'm just gonna do. I'll save this. Analysis. Oh, do I have to, like? I have to create a collection. Really? Okay. Just call it match versus Eric. Yeah, it used to just save. It would just save, and you could, like, see it from, like, a, like, archive or something, but it's whatever. Alright. So next game, I have black. I need to, like, make a move first so I can see, like, okay, so Eric Ney. I think he was 15-18. Daniel Guel. I'm so hyped for this game. Yeah, me too. 1747. Now, I think this one I actually can remember. I'm going to try not to use the DGT, so I'll prove it here. Like, I have the DGT theme on my iPad. Oh, it got tangled up with my charger. I have on my iPad. I'm going to close my iPad and try to recite the game from memory. Or at least the critical points. So, let's see, 1 second. All right. So, E4. And so, yeah, as I was explaining earlier, I was thinking about what to do. Like, I thought about, like, playing some certain things. I decided, you know, never played Alekhine's. Let's give it a... Well, I play it online, which is part of the justification to playing it. Let's play Alekhine's. Let's go Knight F6 and see what happens. Now, if you're at the match, like, I could tell from Eric's body language, he was actually pretty happy to face it. Like, he immediately played E5. Let's see moves. Oh, no. Yeah, you'll see the moves. I'm just saying, like, I won't look at it from DGT, right? Because, like, earlier I was, like, looking at the DGT link, but here I'm just playing it from memory. So, yeah, you'll see moves. But, yeah, so I could tell Eric was happy to face the Alekhines. So he plays E5, I played this, Bishop G4 versus Bishop F5, yeah. He played C4, I played this, he played D4, D6, and here he played F4. Which is not really a line I looked at earlier, but it's fine. Let's see. I took... He obviously takes back with the F-pawn. It's so funny that there's one game in the database with D takes. But F takes is obviously the move. And here, I played Knight C6. I'm trying to remember. Oh gosh, I think he just played Knight F3 straight away, right? Yeah, he played Knight F3 straight away. The thing about this, what I was kind of telling him is that I think it just benefits you to like delay Knight F3, because part of the reason why Black plays the Alekhines is to kind of put this pressure on the center, and Bishop G4 is kind of that sort of dream like setup. Like you pin the knight, which is sort of pressuring the center. I think he played Knight C3 a little later. Yeah, I think Knight C3 could be better. The top move is Bishop E3. Yeah, Knight F3 is what he played, which is not bad. But I think the best move here is Bishop E3. Because it kind of makes me make a decision with this bishop. Like, here I have to go Bishop F5. If he plays Knight F3, like, you know, I think there are even some positions where I could, like, waste a tempo, just go to G4, but... Probably, well, the theory says Knight C3, and I guess, like, E6, Knight F3, Bishop E7. Okay, but there is a Bishop G4 line. So, you know, I'm not exactly well-versed on the theory. I just kind of know the ideas more. Bishop G4. Here, I believe he played Bishop E3. I played E6. Knight C3. Here I just played Bishop E7. And here... Oh, gosh. I think he played... No, it wasn't Bishop E2. It was Queen D2 here, right? Yeah, Queen D2, and then, like, all that happened. Right, okay, so I think this is where he went wrong. Like, here, I think his position's okay. Like, yeah, maybe you could argue that he shouldn't have played Knight F3 this soon, but here his position's okay. But he played, Queen D2, which is not horrible, but the problem with Queen D2 is that, just kind of keep in mind, like, there's still pressure on D4. So now, I can take on F3. And he can only take back with the pawn. And then I play Bishop H4 check. And the reason why this is important is because if Bishop F2, I just trade and then just snap take the pawn. Yeah, if Bishop F2, I just snap take the pawn. So he has to go King D1. Now, amazingly, this is still fine for him, actually. Like, it's equal, but it's not that much worse for him, actually. I guess there's just some positions. Maybe he can play, like, A3, bring the king out, just kind of castle manually, I'm thinking. And then he has, like, a pretty strong center, more long-term, so it's, like, kind of fine for him. I thought I was doing good here after king d1. I think I played queen d2. Sorry, queen d7. Oh, I'm gonna forget the details now. I think it was queen d7, and then I want to say he played a3, and then I castled. Awkward but equal with my experience in the Alkynes. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I'm not gonna remember. I'm pretty sure that this happened, a3 and castles, but let me just double check. Okay, round 2. Flip. Okay, this. Yes, that was exactly great. Yeah, so it's queen d7. Here he played. So actually, his only move is king c2. Oh wow, his only move for equality is king to c2. Okay, I'm gonna put a3 on the board. Okay, I thought. Oh, does this actually is this actually good? Like, I thought I was gonna go check. Okay, he goes king b1. Oh wow, even king b3 is not that bad, which is crazy. I thought if this happened, I thought he might go here. Then I was gonna play a5. Which, amazingly, that's actually worse for me, because he plays a4. And somehow, like, this is, like, not ideal for me? I guess I just have, like, nothing here. His pawn structure is busted long-term. Time to attack the center. Yeah, he probably saw Ghost with that knight check. Yeah. But the best move, apparently, after the knight check is just to go here. Which is absolutely insane, because the rook is just locked up. But I guess he's just going to go a3. So say I like castle. Like I would have thought a3, but I guess a3 there's knight c6 and you have some pressure. So maybe like like knight b5 apparently is like good. Knight b5, I go here. Oh, he just takes. Whoops. Knight b5, I go here, and then he goes like a4. I don't know. It's kind of tricky. I have no idea. I'm new to this Alekhine. I'm like. Yeah, I'm an Alekhine, like, yeah. I'm an Alekhine newbie. So, he's got kingside pressure if he can survive your assault. Yeah, that's true. I guess his rook is kind of useful there, kind of, like, assisting, so... The king's just safe. Like, there's nothing I can really do to get to it. So, yeah, he plays a3... I think this is where he's just, like, losing already on move 13. And I just castle. There's just, like, so much pressure here. There's really nothing he can do. If knight b5, it has to go a6, I think. I think if knight e2, I was gonna, like, do something. I think I was gonna take on e5. Usually black is on the back foot and white is comfy. Right. I think knight e2 I can take. And then go, like, here. Oh, that's not the best variation. The best variation... Oh, it's takes. And then you go here. Oh, okay, yeah. I think I would have seen that. I definitely would have seen that. Don't worry, don't worry. But, yeah, I saw knight e2 I could take. And if d5, obviously, I take this way. Or I could even, like, I guess take and then, like, take. But probably takes e5 is more accurate. So he played c5 here. And yeah, if you face the Alekhine, you know that c5. Knight a5 is promising. Yeah, there were definitely positions where I thought about knight a5. Oh, knight a5 here actually could be interesting. I guess knight a5 could work. I thought castles was just better because it attacks the d-pawn. I think there were positions earlier, like maybe like, say here. Well, maybe like here, where I wanted to play knight a5. But I think knight a5 just runs into, like... I thought b3. Apparently c5 is even fine. It's actually crazy that c5 is good here. There's, like, check. And then, like, knight c6. Oh my gosh, bishop a6. That's nuts. Okay. So... a3... Castles... So he played c5 in the game. Which... has to come when the king is castled or you get tricked. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. c5, yeah, and if you play e4 and face the Alekhine, you know that c5 is a move you never want to do. Like, even like from this position, it probably would tempt a lot of beginners to just play like, this. But this is not a position you want as white. So it's kind of unfortunate that white had to sort of go into this. When I saw castle, I got so excited. Yeah, me too. No, I was just as excited as you were. Knight d5, and like, yeah, again, the pressure is just like too much. I'm threatening this and then take the pawn. If he just moves the bishop, I think I just play, I'll just play knight takes e5, and then take, and then, this is just like GG. So knight d5, here you play bishop g5, which doesn't really do anything. Oh, it's more than gorgeous. It's literally, like, the hottest thing ever, the d5 square. Yeah, it's literally chef's kiss. And not to mention the d4 pawn is literally prey. Bishop g5, bishop takes, queen takes. Then I just took. It's like, yeah, it's pretty much game over. It's like, not only are you like, does this position just suck, but there's really no way to like not lose material. Like, I'm threatening like knight c3 and like knight f3, for instance. If he just tries to move the king, I have like a fork. If he was the king here, I have another fork. It's just like, yeah, it's just like very ugly, unfortunately. Knight takes d4, knight takes d5, queen takes d5. He played queen d2. I played this. King e1. I played queen takes h1. After queen c3, I just took the pawn. Then after bishop d3, knight f3, he resigned. It's understandable. I mean, there's a variation. Like, if you play king f1, I was just gonna go like check, and then take, and then just go like check, and then just take on d3 and just like win. If he had gone here, oh gosh, what was I gonna do? I think same thing, right? Check, or I guess you'd be like, yeah, check, and then like take, and then go check. Maybe it's not necessarily like technically the best way to win, but or the most like, not like the engine way to win, but that is gonna be my method. It's only plus 7.5. Okay, isn't this like literal? Wouldn't this literally be like forced mate? Yeah, it's mate in 18 or whatever. Okay, yeah, all right. Well, pretty good game. Well, I enjoyed it. Here, I'll just delete the rest of these moves. That's the variation. Okay, so save match versus Eric. Oh, I didn't save the previous game. Oh, it's a bummer. Oh well. I'll resave. I'll save it or something. I'll re-input it. All right. Yeah. So that is rounds 1 and 2 of the match. Rounds 3 and 4 will be Thursday. We're up 2-zip. Hopefully we can like maintain that, kind of close it out, but you never know how it goes. Eric's still a tough opponent. I'm sure he's gonna be motivated for games 3 and 4 to try to scout me. So I think I like gain rating if I score like 3.5 or 4. If I score like 3, I think I lose like a couple rating points, which I'm not really that concerned about. I just like playing chess and just having fun. So yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna get going as much as I'd love to go on for longer. I gotta let my voice rest. I gotta get to bed. Well, I gotta get to bed pretty soon. But yeah, thank you all for stopping by. Really appreciate it. And again, hopefully some of you just kind of watched it back. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. So, so have a great rest of your evening, or if you're watching this back, day, morning, whatever. There's very interesting variations with G6 that look like Sicilian dragons. Yeah. Oh yeah, there are some G6 variations. Alright. Sorry my voice is raspy, but see you all, I guess, in 2 days. I'll have another recap out on Thursday, win, lose, or draw, assuming it doesn't go super long. Yeah. Thank you all. Have a good one. Have a good night.